You're changing history, you're changing culture, and you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
Abraham Lincoln here is one of the most racist presidents we've had in modern history.
We're trotting out and peddling people's racist, sexist, bigoted stereotypes.
And their colleagues have distorted the facts.
Take the worst I say and turn them to a game. Take the best I say and put them on display.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Excuse me, Hunter. Apparently you're afraid of my words.
Hunter Biden is not above the law. We want to send him to the DOJ, and we want to trust the DOJ to do their job.
I want my Republican colleagues to give me one thing, that I can go campaign on and say we did.
The bill, as I said, codifies one definition of anti-Semitism. A definition that the author says shouldn't be codified.
RICO is not a crime. They want to act like they blind. They don't know what this is. These are our national secrets. Looks like in the shitter to me.
Leadership of the plans to get them back into chambers. That would have been call number 3 with Speaker Pelosi.
You didn't have one call, you didn't have 2 calls, you had 3 calls. So Speaker Pelosi's comments that she didn't speak to were inaccurate.
That is correct, sir.
Welcome to the Off-Label Podcast, your daily dose of sanity in an insane world. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a good little bit of information coming out. It's just like the floodgates of hell just broke loose with everything here. The Justice Department is looking to strip looking to strip naturalization for immigrants who have come over here legally and committed certain crimes. I don't know. I kind of agree with it, and there is precedent, 70 years worth of law, to say that he can actually do that. So it's going to be fun to look into. We also have DOJ announcing the largest healthcare fraud bust in history. There was a good little bit. There was like over 300 people, I believe, that were arrested in that and something. It's been a minute. That actually broke the other day, but we didn't cover it at that point in time. And looks like there were more Democrats who were arrested and even charged, and one of them was sentenced to election fraud. Does that surprise you? But first, before we do anything else, while we got Rob's crew here, the last little super chat I sent, I'm going to show you exactly what I was talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get going.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you can get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best. So treat the worst of times just like a test. If only I could go back in time, I'd tell myself that everything will end up alright. Just push yourself, test yourself, figure out what you like, and find your limits, don't be rigid, always work towards a prime. Surround yourself with open minds, people can change your life. A few friends with intent can help you feel alive. Find a passion, take some action, and with a little time, just be patient, make a statement, try to enjoy your life. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
Wilson.
And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, that movie is famous.
It's not because it, resonated with the last administration at all. At all. Especially with the 3 microphones where the president had 2 microphones and he was holding one, just like the ex-president had 2 microphones in front of him and he had one in his hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
kind of
almost
fucking
been
weird.
prophetic so far. Okay, we haven't had a garbage avalanche yet, so we can't start all this into motion. But I do see our president being named Dwayne Alessandro Herbert Mountain Dew Camacho or whatever the fuck that was. And
I mean, they did
just
make
like a wrestler superstar. I could see that actually being a thing.
Well, The Rock did have his own show, like Everybody Hates Chris, where he's trying to become the president, and his name is Dwayne Johnson.
Right.
And it tells the whole story about his life. And you're going, no, please, God. No, please, God. No.
By the way, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? We got the Sentinel in the house. We got Ken Cross, Carolyn Hall, and Jennifer's over there on that side, too. We will be having some more coming in as we go. We got Be the One over here on the Rumble side. We got Bill Dozer, Mom's Mysteries and Mayhem, and Sobertex here. Bill Dozer. Let's see. Anybody else? Jennifer. Neurodivergence over there. How y'all doing tonight? We got Jennifer from the earlier today from the pregame. Today is supposedly don't go to work day in the U.S. according to illegals, so I immediately went and got a job at a Korean restaurant for a day. Have a great show. And of course, we got Amanda with us.
In Jersey, you would have had to had a job at a pizzeria. I worked at a pizzeria for a couple months that my buddy was a manager of, and everybody who cooked the food was Mexican in a pizzeria.
Right.
Everybody.
But check this out, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into this real quick here. I just want to show y'all what I was talking about earlier.
Oh, wow, Bill.
When I was saying
Shaney,
that the HAVV data, the that executive order. Oh yeah, let me bring that up as well. EO 14019. Where is it? Department of Justice. No.
Langford.
Executive Order 14019. We'll start off with this one, okay? Executive Order 14019. Basically, what this does is this gives the federal government the ability to register you to vote. All but about 5-6 agencies, the entire federal government now has the ability to register you to vote. Now, you go to the Social Security Administration's website. In the search bar, just type in HAVV, and it'll bring this up. Click on that. I'll close that window because it's the same thing. Here is a daily or a weekly breakdown of all the states who have had requests to register somebody to vote without an ID using the last 4 digits of their Social Security number and their last name. Okay, that's it. Now, this has seen a lot of high numbers for absolutely no reason. Just like this one right here. Okay, let's go to first week.
And these numbers are by every week or two.
Yes. Some states report bi-weekly, some states report weekly.
If it's 1,000, it's 1,000 that week or those 2 weeks. Depends on what state it is.
Right.
But still, it's not a rolling total from whatever it is. It's that week or those 2 weeks.
Yes, and I will show you. Alabama saw 1,227 people try to register with the last 4 digits of their Social Security number and last name. Out of that 1,227, 150 didn't know their shit. Out of the 1,077 that tried to register with the last 4 digits of their Social Security number and last name, 287 were dead. Now, why is that some kind of importance? Because, 12,000 people tried in Illinois, 1,500 didn't know their shit, 81 was dead. Hold up, Kansas, 4,643, 577 didn't know, but 558 dead people tried to register to vote.
Jesus. Go to Missouri. There's not that many people moving in.
92,959, 899 didn't know. Hey, look, y'all are educated apparently. Out of that 92,000, 954 were dead. Huh. Now, we were all talking about this for a while. let's just go to June 7th. I know the last time we looked at this, no, it wasn't June 6th. Yeah, June 7th. Arizona, 78,369. 5,373 didn't know. 371 were dead. When we picked up on this, Texas, every 2 weeks, was running at 250,000, roughly 250,000 every 2 weeks, with high death numbers, high numbers of people that didn't know their shit. It was algorithmically going through every single person that lives in that state and throwing ID, just random shit at it to see if it would all match up. It's an algorithm. Now, that tracks exactly with the, where is it? Oh, that tracks kind of the government's way of this story right here, where we have told you several times, this dude's name was Craig Calloway. Okay, right here. Craig Calloway, 64, former member and president of the City Council of Atlantic City. What he would do is he would pay people to go grab empty ballots with nothing but a signature. They would bring those ballots back to him. Him and his crew would fill them out, and he would pay other people to go stuff them in the ballot drop boxes, you know, lending credence to the whole 2,000 mules situation. Only in this area right here, in these documents, will you ever find that they do bring up his involvement in 2020. He got Van Drew elected in 2022. That's when he got busted.
It was anytime somebody hired him, somehow they were magically elected.
It was about 92% win rate.
Yeah. If he was hired as their campaign manager, there was almost 100% chance that they were going to win.
Now, see,
and
here's
the reason
thing. His story goes all the way back to 2003 when he first started to learn how to do this. So somebody had to teach him along the way. He didn't just come up with this all on his own. Somebody else taught him. This goes back a long way, though, because let's not forget. Let's just go through this real quick here. This comes from Amuse, election integrity. U.S. Authorities intercepted 20,000 fake U.S. driver's license made in China tied to a 2020 election interference plot. Come on.
The allegations include plans from the CCP to manufacture fake driver's licenses and ship them into the United States for the purposes of facilitating fraudulent mail-in ballots, allegations which, while substantiated, were abruptly recalled and never disclosed to the public. And you know how
we all kind of know about that. I just want to go through it real quick with it. Then there was this archive video, 500,000 fake ballots found printing in U.S. in Guangdong. This comes from 5D Media, I guess.
No, that's ME81.
I have no clue. But
has emerged, exposing a factory in Guangdong producing 500,000 blank American ballots. The Gateway Pundit, an online news publication, confirmed that the video was
You're absolutely right, be the one. We do.
Leaders, a third-generation member of the Chinese Communist Party. Vanessa tweeted on November 9 that the printing plant in Guangdong, China, was printing out fake ballots, which were then mailed to Canada and Mexico under the name of medical supplies between August and October 2020, and from there flown into the United States. The released video of the phone call to a Chinese manufacturer requesting a bulk order of fake US 2020 ballots has been revealed by the Gateway Pundit. Here is the translated recording between the caller and the ballot printing company.
You might want to pause it and read it.
No problem. Volume is not a problem as long as your payment is prompt. There are
that's from the ballot print.
Yeah.
That's from the ballot printing company.
Yeah, the customer. There are different types of paper. The company, no problem at all. The customer says, "This is a bulk order. Can you deliver?" Company, more days are needed. Customer, can you ship internationally? Company, sure. It'll be shipped by an international shipping company. Customer, what is the cost for one piece? Company, same as the price I told you before. Okay. But yeah, that shit goes on. Right? This is how they were getting the information, using TikTok, looking at people's IDs as they loaded it into fucking TikTok, and matching it all together algorithmically to see who they could fucking match up, to register those people to vote. And again, all they had to do was just take that information, put somebody else's picture over it, send it into the country, and now an illegal is you. Wasn't I bringing that shit up when we first started talking about that, Davey? Yep. The government would use that shit to just give your information out there, and I guarantee you're going to find a lot of people that actually voted, that say that shows they voted and never did. I guarantee it. Everybody that's never voted, why would you look up to see if you have ever voted in your life?
Well, it's the same thing. Those people who were giving to the DNC thousands of dollars a year and had no idea because Act Blue was taking 20, 100 out of old people's accounts, and they had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
They're just taking money out of their accounts.
And I'm sorry for everybody out there, but that is sedition in this point. You know, to do this kind of thing, to overthrow the government in any kind of way, using the people to cover it up violently. But when you are paying China to do this for you, so you have no paper trail other than shit like this. Well, you also took an oath of office, so that means you were giving aid and comfort to our enemies, and therefore that is treason. The oath of office is what makes it treason, though. Oh.
Sorry.
You know that Idiocracy video is going to get us hit immediately with the thing because it had that song in it. Fuck it. I'll clip it out. I don't care. Trump's Justice Department let's go to this one, though. Trump's Justice Department issues directive to strip naturalized Americans of citizenship for criminal offenses. This here actually does come from the Gateway Pundit. The Trump administration has codified its efforts to strip some Americans of their U.S. citizenship in recently published Justice Department memo that directs attorneys to prioritize denaturalization for naturalized citizens who commit certain crimes. Okay, cool. That carve out has always been there. We just never enforced it, though.
Yeah. It's always been the law.
Yeah. Since like the fucking 70s.
Yeah.
The memo published on 11 of June, calls on attorneys in the department to institute civil proceedings to revoke a person's United States citizenship if an individual either illegally procured naturalization or procured naturalization by concealment of a material fact or by willful misrepresentation. You know what that means?
Means that they willfully held some information back.
Yeah.
That like if they committed a crime and they're not allowed in this country, and they ask you basically the Hunter Biden fucking application for a gun. Do you use drugs? No.
But that, hey, I can't self-incriminate myself cannot actually be used in this argument because you are not a United States citizen at that point. By law, you do have the right to not incriminate yourself. Yes, by our system and fairness. But you're not here subject to the jurisdiction thereof yet. So, no. Okay. But it's the same thing. Concealment of a material fact. It's like all these motherfuckers that are, trying to actually start their process now, start their asylum claims. They've been here for so damn long, or you got somebody who came in here legally, said, yeah, fuck the process. No one cares. I'm here. And nobody actually cared to enforce the law at that point. Now they've been here for 25 fucking years and living off your system, benefiting. And because they've been here for 25 years, why would you get rid of them? Which is how they actually do pay into taxes. That and sales tax.
But then you got the stupid left. Go to my screen for a second.
And unmute. Go ahead.
This is how dumb they are. It says Melania became a U.S. citizen on July 28, 2006. Barron was born in March 20, 2006. Barron will be deported under new birthright laws. I'm sorry. Who's Barron's father?
Donald Trump.
Is Donald Trump an American citizen?
Yes.
So I guess he can't be denaturalized or deported under the new birthright laws. I'm gonna
Not only that. This is gonna have music to it too.
Well, he's just dancing to it, and he's all happy about it. He's got a big smile on his face, like he actually did something. You're a fucking idiot. You're a moron, and this is why the left lost, and this is why the left will continue to lose, because you're a dumb motherfucker.
Donald Trump is a United States citizen who had a child with an immigrant on United States soil.
Yeah.
What the fuck? There is no way in hell you cannot call that a citizen of this country. You have a stronger argument for deporting me, you stupid asshole. You have a stronger argument for deporting me than you do Baron goddamn Trump. You were the dumbest son of a bitch walking the face of this fucking earth.
It's like saying, well, I mean, listen, if your mom is Mexican or your dad is Mexican and your mom is American and your dad is American, guess what? And you're born in America, you're fucking American. But if both your parents are born in another country, they come here, they're not American citizens, they're not naturalized. You are under the birthright law that they are saying doesn't exist.
For everybody that doesn't know, my father was in the military. We were stationed.
Switch screen.
My father was in the military. We were stationed overseas in Germany when I was born. I was born to American parents on American base. So yeah, I'm still a citizen. But what would make you think twice is my birth certificate actually says certificate of birth abroad. So it makes everybody look like, what is this?
It says
you
birth
have a
abroad.
Stronger argument, yes. Certificate for birth abroad. Certificate of birth abroad, yes. Because I was born to U.S. citizens overseas on an Air Force base.
I'm surprised it didn't say it wouldn't say the Air Force base.
It does.
Oh,
on the ticket, it says, yeah, it says where I was born, Eglin Air Force or Eglin Base, but yeah. You have a stronger argument for me for deportation and denaturalization than you do Baron Trump. That is dumb. I'm sorry. But it says at the center of the move are the estimated 25 million U.S. citizens who immigrated to the country after being born abroad, according to the data from 2023. And
you're right, John.
25 million U.S. citizens immigrated to the country after being born abroad from the data from 2023. How far does that go back, though? Was the citizens accounting for 7% of the U.S. total population were naturalized U.S. citizens as of 2023. Okay, so 25 million immigrants in this country were naturalized already by 2023. As of 2023, they finished out everything.
Which is 7% of the U.S. population.
I got to show it. I'm not going to show the whole thing, but I got to show it. We've been telling you. United Nations Secretariat, March of 2000. Replacement migration. Is it a solution to a declining and aging populations? Basically, what this is saying is, hey, people ain't having kids no more. What do we do? Because the economy can't keep up. Yeah, you know all those countries that don't need those people because they have no way of doing it, or they're just horrible countries and they can't just keep their population running. Bring them on over. Out of the 13 countries that are on this list, 10 of them have migration problems. Fancy that shit.
And what's one of the reasons why? It's on my screen. Good.
Yeah, you're on me to go ahead.
Because America told you to be a boss bitch. Because America told you don't need no mans. It's impossible for women after 40 to find a boyfriend. I have no children. I cook delicious food. I have a big house. Am I really that bad? No. You decided to wait too fucking long, madam. Because most men in their 40s, if they're divorced, have a family already.
Yeah, they have kids themselves, but yeah, probably wanting more with the right person.
Yeah. So yeah, your bakery is half fucking fried, is 3/4 fried by now.
But it's not even that though. I mean, there are men who don't give a shit about actually having kids, don't want any more kids or anything like that. But here's the thing.
That's a very small.
It is.
Small.
Here's the thing, though. The truth behind that is, what is his role? I mean, you've taken care of everything. You got everything. What is his role? What does he do? Because he's literally useless in that situation.
What he will find is
unless he turns into a little bitch ass man, and then you hate him for that because he's
what she's gonna find is a mid-20-something-year-old who plays video games all day. She will go out and work. He will sit home and play video games all day. Then eventually he'll get bored with her, giving him everything he wants, and he'll find a girl around his own. Yeah, and then he'll go out and find a girl his own age. And then
or
fucking
younger.
dump her. Yeah. And he'll dump her because he's already gotten everything he wants from her. And then he'll start a new life with a new girl where he can have kids with.
Right.
Or someone who's around his age. That's what's going to happen.
Oh, that's definitely what's going to happen with it. But I mean, even as a man is supposed to be a provider, what else do you have? Unless you want to make him into your little bitch and then be pissy like that because he's at your beck and call and he's just so pathetic.
A lot of these urban fucking Gen Zers are that fuck. Look at all those fucking pussies we see at the fucking, all those marches we see.
Yeah, I know.
That's what you're going to find. That's what you're going to find. You're not going to find a fucking, an Iowa boy, a 40-year-old Iowa man who wants to settle down with this fucking, who wants to sit there on a farm all day.
We're squirreling out hard with this one.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, literally, this is because what this document here shows you is they took numbers from 1995 in our heyday where our economy was fucking badass. We couldn't even make businesses fast enough. People were unemployed because there were no jobs.
Yeah, we had Koreans on roofs.
And then they were telling you, yeah, that was a thing too. We also had like cults and everything starting to pop up around. Weird point in history. Back to this. They were telling you to go ahead and don't have children until you have a stable career, which puts you around early to mid 30s. Maybe quicker if you're good and you're focused.
And then when you
have a kid or two at that point.
And then when you have your kids, sterilize them.
We're not even to that point yet. Now, okay, that didn't really work. People were still it did kind of curve it a little bit. Then they told you can just go ahead and kill your kids before they're even born. I mean, they're not human. They're just a clump of cells, right?
They're zygotes.
And then you saw a massive decline in the population to where our economy started suffering because there were more people aging out of the workforce and they were living longer than more people coming into the workforce. Now to a point to where we have 1.8 or so people coming into the workforce for every person that's aging out and living roughly around 75 to 80 years old. So from 65 to the point they died, 10 to 15 fucking years, you are paying out. What are you doing for this economy? Well, you bring in immigrants that just bumping on up because they told you to kill yourself a long time ago.
Jonathan makes a great point. I don't want no whining woman getting up in my grill after 30 years of marriage. Now that it's over, kids are grown. I like my freedom. That's another thing. Men after a certain age, after so many years of marriage, are just happy with a fucking couch, a giant screen TV, a king-size bed, and maybe a couple of plastic plates. That's it.
That's true. As long as
They're
we
like,
got
wait a minute.
the necessities.
A PlayStation, maybe a computer. Now you can buy yourself. Your kids are grown. Now you can buy yourself whatever the fuck you want.
I mean, this is why men are called simple. All right, we're simple creatures. We have just the necessities to get us by, and that's it. That's cool. That's all we need. Fuck them. I don't need 70,000 damn plates when I'm the only motherfucker living in there. You know.
Illegal Galaxy, Lil Galaxy 56, 30 to 40-year-old clumps of cells still living off their elderly parents. You're not wrong. You're not fucking wrong. I know of one myself.
Yeah, but this birthright citizenship claim, this reversing everything right here. Put somebody in the crosshairs, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like little Muhammad here, Zorhan Mandamni, is an anti-Semitic socialist communist who will destroy the great city of New York City. Or the great city of New York. He needs to be deported, which is why I am calling for him to be subject to denaturalization proceedings. Attaches my letter to Attorney General Pam Bondi. This comes from Rep. Andy Ogles. And yeah, he's saying, hey, this dude's a fucking straight up ass communist. And yeah, he might have lied because he was already saying this shit like not globalize the Intifada, but he was already backing them back in the fucking day before he even came to this country, and he straight up lied.
Andy Ogles has a fucking tick up his ass for Mamdani. Everything that I've seen from Andy Ogles has been about Ramhead Mamdani. Dude, he is just going hard in the paint at this guy.
I'm telling you, the motherfuckers from the South here, like a lot of these people here from especially the southern states, I'm going to meet that, especially from the southern states, have lit the fuck up lately, though. I mean, I ain't heard shit from my governor in a while, but I ain't got no complaints other than the still gas tax hike before the lockdowns. That's still there. Meanwhile, our streets are just now opening up after 5 fucking years and nobody there.
Did you hear California? 80 cents more of a tax on gas.
God. I'm still sitting around, I got gas at like $2.60 today. But yeah, we got Libs of TikTok here. Trump on Zorhan Mamdani vowing to block ICE in New York.
Mr. President, your beloved New York City may well be led by a communist soon, Zorhan Mandami, who in his nomination speech said he will defy ICE and will not allow ICE to arrest criminal aliens in New York City. Your message to communist Zorhan Mandami.
You have to arrest him. Look, we don't need a communist in this country, but if we have one, I'm going to be watching over him very carefully on behalf of the nation.
Lenny, Rhoda.
We send him money. We send him all the things that he needs to run a government. And by the way, they get about 3 times what you get, Ron. If you look at the per capita, Florida gets 1/3 of what New York gets in terms of the numbers. Why don't you give us those numbers?
Yeah, well,
because that's what we should send him.
Yeah, well, like sometimes people say Florida gets more because they count Social Security recipients, but that's not money to the state.
Alabama gets more because we have military bases, very active military bases. But yeah, we get more subsidies from the federal government than other states. Y'all are poor. You understand what we're running in Alabama, right?
And
not only do we have a Navy port, we have a fucking arsenal.
And Ramdami's position also is that he says that millionaires and billionaires are not going to leave New York because that's where they need to be. By the way, Jennifer reminds everybody that Senator Alex Padilla is an anchor baby. Pass it on.
Yes,
but he's talking about he's saying that all the millionaires and billionaires are going to stay, that they're not going to leave, even with the 2% tax rate, 2% tax hike. When somebody broke it down, it's actually a 51% tax hike, because if you do the math, you go from like, what was it, like 25,000 to 51,000 a year with just that 2%. And he's going, well, if Jersey could do it with 11%, we're doing it at 5%. We could do it at 7%. And then if the people leave, if you do business in New York, you're going to still have to pay taxes on that. So you know what's going to happen there, right?
Double tax.
No, they're going to stop doing business in fucking New York.
Well, that too. Or you're going to double
tax. They're not going to be double taxed on it. They're just going to be like, what? We're not going to deliver to New York then. And New York's going to be a fucking food desert with, oh yeah, that's right. Government run stores.
Yeah. Yeah. But then you got to come up with a government run distribution for those stores, because all those people have to do is say, no, I'm not even going to deliver outside the skirts there for anybody else to pick up. So now you got to create that distribution platform behind that. But all the while, if you ever get uppity about anything, all we have to do is just take away your food. You're screwed, New York City. But
I got go ahead.
If they moved to North Carolina, you could count it there. So it has no interaction with the state government. They get more on the city and state governments than we get.
Right, substantially. We're going to be watching that very carefully, and a lot of people are saying he's here illegally. He's, we're going to look at everything, and ideally, he's going to turn out to be much less than a communist. But right now, he's a communist. That's not a socialist.
Right.
And I've always said we will not have socialism in this country. In the speeches, I said, well, what? They skipped socialism, and you got a lot of them like that.
Hey, look, we got laws that say communism is not allowed in this country. We got laws that say communists have no fucking rights. But yeah.
I got this one.
TV screen? Okay. This is going to hit us again with Charlemagne, because it already fucking happened again with Breakfast Club. Don't go full screen with the video. Yeah. Yeah, they auto fucking flagged it, and I'm just like, no, we were using this as fair use. No, there ain't no way you're going to do that. You're not going to auto flag this fucking, I wasn't going hard in the paint with that. I was just like, this is fair use, used as a part of a commentary for what we were talking about.
And did they let it go?
You got 30 days.
Yeah. Well, this is Charlemagne will never.
Don't bring it full screen.
Okay. Charlemagne will never go full Trump, but I mean, he's got a point here. Charlemagne says he doesn't care if Trump deports vicious American animals, because they're also talking about criminals, yeah. Because they were also talking about deporting. They were also talking about deporting Americans also to some of these third world countries that do heinous crimes.
Yeah. Don't bring it full screen.
On that.
Oh, wait. I got to unmute you.
On the crime.
Restart. Go ahead.
It depends on what you did. Depending on the crime. But we gonna send them. I don't care. Depending on the crime. If you do a crime that's so heinous, let's say you go and you kill 7, 8-year-olds or rape a child.
The mass shootings, right? Like the mass shootings, the school shootings.
I could care less where they send you.
Put them? You gonna drop them in?
I could care less.
He don't care.
I don't care. If you walk into a school and you kill 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't care where they send you.
Yeah. I listen. If they got
did this motherfucker actually really break though?
He's starting to see, and I think it's because of Schultz. Because Schultz is kind of like, listen,
Larry Elder.
Yeah. And Schultz keeps peppering in this stuff, and it's kind of getting to him. And he's right. I don't give a fuck if if we have video of the Nashville shooter and they survived. I don't give a fuck where you send them.
Right.
Send them to Saudi Arabia.
Right.
Send them to send them to Iran.
You don't need to
send them to Iran.
You don't need to send them anywhere. Let the people do it.
But still,
I mean, we can crowdfund for that shit. Whatever we decide is the fitting punishment, so be it. There you go. Society solves its own damn problem. Because when that kind of thing actually happens and people are just like, all right, fine, I don't care what happens to you, whatever. They'll stop publicly and openly doing this.
Yeah, like when we follow the fucking laws that we have in this country. The
Like
problem is we
Can we not? I mean, these motherfuckers take an oath and they give aid and comfort to the enemies while they tell us to wage war on each other so they can install a fucking communist government. Using our own government to do so.
Well, look at what happened with the last shooter that took himself out. He was.
What up, Nixie Nix? Dream Killer, Little Galaxy.
He held a knife to a woman, and I think, I'm not sure, he might have assaulted her in some way, but he held a knife to her, and it was a felony, and the judge dropped it to manslaughter, and then fucking gave him 180 days in jail with 150 suspended. So he spent maybe 30 he spent 30 days in jail.
Right.
For a felony.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then what happened? Then he killed a bunch of firefighters.
I mean, you want to talk about kind of fucked up stories? There was one during Ketanji Brown Jackson's confirmation hearing where she went very light on a dude who had a lot of CSAM. Very light. 80% of his sentence was fucking stayed by Ketanji Brown Jackson. He was actually only in jail for about 15 weeks before he was freed, and then 2 months later, traveled across state lines to do things with a 14-year-old.
Go back to your screen.
Oh, I'm almost. No, I'm not. But yeah. But then again, we also got the Trump administration raises probability of stripping Mamdani of U.S. citizenship. Of course, Caroline Levitt, the White House press secretary, appeared to pave the way for an investigation into Mamdani's status after Andy Ogles, a right-wing Republican congressman from Tennessee, I like that, right-wing. Right-wing, like that's supposed to be a clue to you. Ladies and gentlemen, you're supposed to fucking hate it. Right-wing Republican. Like there's a left-wing Republican? I mean, I feel like that's supposed to be an oxymoron at this point to you stupid-ass motherfuckers. But Congressman for Tennessee called for his citizenship to be revoked on the grounds that he may have concealed his support for terrorism during the naturalization process. Mamdani, 33, who was born in Uganda to ethnic Indian parents, became a citizen in 2018 and has attracted widespread media attention and controversy over his vocal support for Palestine rights. Controversy over his immigration status follows as a chorus of Islamophobic attacks on his Muslim faith. Following controversy over his immigration status follows a chorus of Islamophobic attacks on his Muslim faith. They're trying to divide you every way. It's either anti-Semitic or Islamophobic. The black versus white thing didn't divide you that fucking much, so let's go with Jews versus Islam.
It's the fucking birther thing again. It's the birther thing again.
Yeah, you have to other everybody, right? I mean, who was it that said that shit? Oh, Moskowitz? You have to other the other person? Because you dehumanize him? By the way, he was Jewish at an anti-Semitic hearing where he was saying these things. Didn't they call you maggots? Didn't they call you terrorist? Didn't they call you insurrectionist? Didn't they say you have absolutely no rights and you are subhuman pieces of shit for not thinking like them? And now they want to cry about the same thing that they were calling you. Being thrown back at them. It's one of the only instances where using spent ammunition is actually fucking working. And I'm surprised. I am.
Where?
What do you mean where? With the Islam versus the Israel versus Islam thing, the anti-Semitic versus Islamophobic.
Oh, okay.
It's just you're Islamophobic. No, you're anti-Semitic. Everybody's just throwing this shit at each other, and somehow it's all fucking landing. I don't know how. It didn't happen this way when it was a black versus white thing, but apparently everybody's landing everything because it's just like, you're just a piece of shit. Hello, America. You're a piece of shit.
Can I come in? Hi. Hi, you guys are garbage. Can I come in? You guys suck. I don't like you guys, but can I come in?
It's fucking stupid. But yeah.
Hey, when I get in there, can I get an allowance too? Hey. Can I get an allowance? I need an allowance.
But after this motherfucker was saying tax the white people, we're going to give you state-run grocery stores because everybody's just charging whatever the fuck they want, willy goddamn nilly, because congestion pricing, everything's going through the fucking roof. We can't keep shit in stock because nobody's delivering here anymore because of the congestion pricing and everything like that. So the government has to give you what you want, right?
Oh, wait, hold on. I got to look this up. Little Galaxy says Zohan and his communist family were kicked out of Uganda.
Oh, that'd be fun if that was the thing. But yeah, this comes from Defiant L's here on MSNBC. Trump called you a communist. Are you a communist?
Well, let me ask you.
Kristen fucking Welker. Why? I can't put my fucking finger on it, but this bitch is just. It's like there's nothing on upstairs past autonomic function. This bitch could get roasted to her face and she just stares blankly at you like she don't understand a word that ever came out of your mouth. It doesn't even hit. It doesn't register in her brain. It's fucking weird.
About what Donald Trump, the president of the United States, has had to say. He's had a lot to say about your campaign. He called you a communist. Because he's the president, I want to give you a chance to respond directly to him. How do you respond? Are you a communist?
No, I am not. And I have already had to start to get used to the fact that the president will talk about how I look, how I sound, where I'm from, who I am, ultimately because he wants to distract from what I'm fighting for. And I'm fighting for the very working people.
There's that deflection. I knew he was going to do it, and all he's trying to do is distract from this. There's that deflection. He didn't want to answer the question. Oh, no, I'm not. But what he's trying to do is this. Nope, he didn't want to dive into anything. He didn't want to actually talk about how it's not socialism, how it's not communism. He didn't want to do that. The only thing he wanted to do was pick up that shit pile and throw it right back.
People that he ran a campaign to empower that he has since then betrayed. And when we talk about my politics, I call myself a democratic socialist in many ways inspired by the words of Dr. King from decades ago, who said, call it democracy or call it democratic socialism. There has to be a better distribution of wealth for all of God's children in this country. And as income inequality has declined nationwide, it has increased in New York City. And ultimately, what we need is a city where every single person can thrive.
All right. Well, let me ask.
Bruce Rice says, let me put it this way. I am what Schumer warned about. 6 ways to Sunday. Yeah. I mean, y'all have heard me. But he responded again. Mamdani is in his statement, Trump's threat to arrest and deport him was an attack on democracy and an attempt to send a message to every New Yorker who refuses to hide in the shadows. If you speak up, they will come for you. This comes from Raza Ahmed Rumi. He released a statement saying, the president of the United States just threatened to have me arrested, stripped of my citizenship, put in a detention camp, and deported. Not because I have broken any law, but because I will refuse to let ICE terrorize their city. No, that's what lit you up on the fucking radar. You did break laws because you have actually been trying to advocate for. You were giving material support to terrorists before you even came in here, and then you lied saying, no, I'm not giving material support to terrorists. His statements don't just represent an attack on our democracy, but an attempt to send a message to every New Yorker who refuses to hide in the shadows. If you speak up, they will come for you. We will not accept this intimidation. That Trump included praise for Eric Adams and his authoritarian threats is unsurprising. I mean, y'all tried to set this motherfucker up to go to prison for something that everybody does on a daily fucking basis. All because he said we're getting 10,000 fucking migrants a month and they're going to destroy this city. What the fuck are you talking about?
I like Little Galaxy. She is a D actor with a Chat GPT script, might escort or phone scam on the side. Talking about Zohan's mother.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Well,
that's
I have
fucking awesome.
I have his parents' information up here. This comes from comic books. This is on Comic Book Sci-Fi. This was written June 25th, 2025. Gives a little bit about him. Of course, everything we know. But while his politics views and rapid rise ahead made headlines, much of Mandani's identified and rooted a complex and deeply global background, one shaped by his parents, his faith, and the communities that raised him. Mamdani was born into a family that has a long engaged in global issues through very different avenues. His father, Mahmoud Mandami, is a Uganda-born scholar of Indian descent, widely respected for his work on colonialism, African history, and political theory. Over the years, Mahmoud has taught at top institutions, including Columbia University. What went on there recently? Makerere University, and his writings has influenced how people understand power, identity, and resistance across continents.
It was always there. It was always there.
His mother, Mira Neer, comes from a different world, although altogether. She's from cinema, originally from India. She built an international reputation as a filmmaker known for movies like whatever that is. She often tells stories about migration, cultures, and community, and her work has received major recognition, including an Oscar nomination.
You know, it kind of resembles Lindy Lee's father's story. Motherfucker came over here dirt goddamn poor with nothing to his name from China when we saw that influx of Chinese spies coming in from 2011 to 2015. This motherfucker comes in 2 goddamn years later. He's some kind of badass business mogul.
Hold on.
Real estate mogul. Sorry.
As for his net worth, Mamdani leads a relatively modest life. He lives in a $2,250 a month rent-stabilized apartment.
Well, hold on. That is kind of modest. For New York.
Rent stabilized.
Yeah, for New York. And that's why he wants to do it across the fucking board, dude.
Well, that means that he doesn't that's all he's going to pay.
Exactly.
Until something happens. Yeah.
Exactly. That's why he wants it across the fucking board. Because how are landlords going to keep up with the properties? No, you're going to have to sell it to the government, because the government's going to be the one to actually keep up the cost of everything, because you can't do it yourself if everything's stabilized and prices go through the roof again.
In Astoria, Queens, owns no cars and lists one major asset, 4 acres of land in Jinja, Uganda, valued at $150,000 to $250,000.
You know what? Here's the fucked up thing. And I can see this actually happening to New York. You know DC, that 10 square miles that DC is supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
You know there's not a single fucking citizen that's supposed to live there, right?
Yeah.
The only people that are actually supposed to be staying there are the people that work for the government and have to be there, or the people that are actually within our government. And even then, you still have a strong argument that the people that work for the government, bitch, you have to take the fucking the journey just like the rest of us do to get to our fucking jobs. But in that 10 square miles, only government officials are supposed to be presiding in the first goddamn place. There's supposed to be nobody living there. I guarantee you, you're going to see New York City turn out to be what DC was supposed to be.
Remember that video of, what was it, Schumer, White House, and I forget who else, another one. They shared a house in DC, and it was so fucking gross.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to find that video again.
But yeah, it will. It'll go that route. My screen. Oh, I already got that one too. But ladies and gentlemen, I will say this. We got to cut to Rumble soon. So I'm going to show you this. Oh.
I found it real quick.
Let's go to Davy's screen before we do this. Go ahead. Halfway.
Paint peeling off the walls, sheets covering the windows, broken blinds, a mangled chair covered up with a wood board, an ancient stove with a giant hole, and yes, that's underwear in the living room. What looks and feels like the most run-down frat house on campus is actually the Capitol Hill home of some of the most powerful men in Washington.
Welcome to Omega House.
I love what you've done with the place.
Thank you.
Dick Durbin and Chuck Schumer, the second and third ranking Senate Democrats, live here together.
You guys got the rent from him?
Gay.
Their landlord and third roommate is Democratic Congressman George Miller.
Wait.
The house
Pause.
is so legendary.
That actually makes sense, though. Because Dick Durbin has always been Chuck Schumer's bitch. Why? Because they fucking live together.
Yeah.
Gay.
Yeah. And then, the other guy, they call it the Alpha House.
By the way, these motherfuckers probably get like a stipend or something, and they're just barely paying half their shit to go in here and just have a place to rest their fucking head. Meanwhile, they're pocketing everything else.
Mm-hmm.
It inspired a new TV series, Alpha House. Except the Senate roommates in the Amazon.com show are Republicans.
We want to say,
or believe they have a sense of humor.
Nothing like us. Don't even begin to think so.
When people see this house, they're going to know because in the show it's a little bit nicer. Yeah. They have a thing where in the
wait a minute.
Miller, the owner, started taking in tenants more than 30 years ago. The house hasn't been updated since.
Well, we stopped buying LPs. That was when the music stopped.
But you actually have a record player here.
Yes, the same exact records are there now as the day I moved in 1982.
The best part about it are the products that are on the cassette player.
Pause.
This is my medicine.
This motherfucker's been in goddamn government since 1982, lives with two other goddamn men, and haven't changed out a single goddamn record. How the fuck is your show going to be interesting over Republicans who are doing some random ass, probably some cool shit and talking about some deep motherfucking shit? How is this going to be? Oh my God.
I guarantee you that they were racist. I guarantee you in the show they were kind of racist.
Yeah, and they're just like, no, there ain't no fucking way we can put this out. Every other goddamn word is racist shit.
They knew she was coming. It wasn't a surprise. They couldn't have cleaned up a little. Just left their fucking underwear just thrown willy-nilly on the fucking bed. And you know that there's two of them sharing it. You know Schumer and fucking Durbin are sharing a bed.
You also have to know that their assholes just don't work anymore and they've been shitting themselves. So you do have that streak. I mean, we got Nadler shitting all over himself. We got video proof of that.
You can hear it.
Well, no, you actually can't. That was an added sound effect, but
Smooth as could be.
That's important.
Whose closet is this?
Mine.
Oh, Mr. Neat. Mr. Neat's closet.
Hey.
Schumer's stuff is strewn all over the living room. Seriously, this is where you sleep every night?
Every night.
okay, so you're a disgusting slob.
And you wake up to Barack Obama staring at you in the face?
Exactly.
Gay!
Senator Durbin did out you a little bit. He said this is the most that you've ever made your bed.
I'm sorry, that's gay as fuck. You got Obama staring at you as you wake up? That is gay. As you're probably sleeping with another dude.
You can't even make your fucking bed. The one thing people tell you is when you wake up in the morning, at least make your bed. At least make your bed.
Break
this
out the
motherfucker. Splish splash, I was taking a bath. This motherfucker's making laws in the Senate, and he can't make his fucking kitchen bed.
His kitchen bed?
He can't make his fucking kitchen bed with one fucking sheet and two pillows.
Oh my God. This is painful.
They're gross. They're fucking disgusting. And she's just sitting there laughing. This is 11 years ago. Dana Bash is just laughing it up with them.
For you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And the blinds are particularly beautiful.
Yes, well, a guy can see the weather without having to get out of bed. It's a special effect.
The phone is still plugged in, but hasn't worked in years.
547-2513. I still remember the number.
Pause. Just scroll back to when they showed that. Go back to that picture with the phone. Right there. Just freeze frame, right?
Special effect.
The phone is still.
Look how fucking disgusting that goddamn cabinet or that counter is. The phone is from the fucking 80s. It's still plugged in, but it hasn't fucking worked. Which means you have not moved it in fucking decades.
He's just got razors strewn about all over the place there. He's got his fucking... He's got butane behind his Gillette next to his soap bar with all this fucking...
Yeah, this don't look like a drug den, right?
It looks like a trap house. These motherfuckers living in a trap house. These are our representatives. They live in a trap house. Jesus Christ. We have no records past 1980. Why? Because that's when we stopped buying them.
Coincidentally, we have this on fucking record. We are paying a little bit into it, but all of our stipend is being paid out. We're not even fucking staying here, but this is what you know about on record.
Yeah, it's always the Jews, right? And I'm going to say that. It is always the Jews. It is.
All right. In, but hasn't worked in years.
547-2513. I still remember the number.
You don't use a phone? No. What's the
547-2513. Make it fucking ring off the goddamn hook.
Saver too.
Oh yeah, it don't work. That's right.
That
Fuck.
away, put it out in the trash, and it had to be 12, 14 years ago, and I said it's better than anything we have.
Their refrigerator, well, it's a scary sight.
Bud Light.
Yeah, that looks...
Pause.
It's a...
Go back to the fridge. Fucking Bud Light.
Yep.
Bud Light, milk, some random real, like you just went shopping kind of shit. And to make it look like you're actually staying there, somebody brought a half-gallon fucking milk jug from home.
They got two bread and water filters.
Fresh shit. Okay, we got some hot sauce. That shit doesn't go bad. None of this looks like it's actually going to be a problem for like
here's
waste.
Here's a Cubasa Durbin and Schumer shared right here.
And we're not talking about cooking.
I'm not talking about mouth to mouth like fucking Lady and the Tramp either.
That's O-ring to O-ring.
Ah.
That baguette, yeah, that looks a little aged.
It's a lethal weapon.
Oh my goodness. It's a scary sight. That baguette, yeah, that looks a little aged.
Hold on.
It's a...
Look at how much fucking cereal they have.
Here's the fucked up thing, though. That baguette that he grabbed was right in front of the fresh fucking meat. Which means you motherfuckers had to have taken it out, put all the fucking meat in there, and put that son of a bitch back in as a stage prop, or you were that goddamn retarded. I don't know how to take that. Go back. No, like, go back to when he actually, we're going to cut the rumble here in a second, but when he takes that the fuck out, watch his hand placement where it is in the fridge.
That looks a little aged.
It's a
right there in the front.
No wonder they have a problem with rats.
The rats may have done that.
Wow. How many rats did you have?
They have fucking rats!
I had a dream literally 2 nights ago that the rats were back.
I thought the rats were in the Senate. I didn't know they came to the House.
And what year is this from, Congressman?
Well,
I mean,
Franklin
that's the house there's
Yeah.
see,
this
no.
is not a kitchen.
Nah, this is all stage shit. There ain't no way these motherfuckers stay here. Years and fucking years, decades of being in here. There ain't no way these motherfuckers stay here. You know that.
I like how there's phone numbers over here that they left.
Yeah, you should have blurred that out.
That to us.
Yeah. Since this is not a kitchen fit for cooking, the congressional roomies take the easy route. Cold cereal. They buy it in bulk.
So you're the Raisin Bran. Senator Durbin, which one are you?
Oh, I prefer Raisin Bran, but I like the mini wheats.
The fictitious lawmakers in Alpha House have breakfast together, watch sports at night. Not so much here.
I come in about midnight from my office usually.
And we leave while he's sleeping.
And then leave him while I'm sleeping. We do it by design.
An opening scene of Alpha House shows a bowl of flag pins on the counter. This is what they have on their counter.
Screws and a random pill.
Mm-hmm.
And a pen in case you need one.
It's modern art.
It's
No.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No.
And a random pill. Mm-hmm. Viagra,
Screw.
just in case.
Screws for breaking it down. Whatever that random pill is, and a pen to snort it with. We all know what the fuck that is, dude.
It's Adderall.
It's hard to believe such prominent politicians live in these conditions.
When my wife comes, she will not stay here.
But they're only in Washington about 3 nights a week.
What makes it work?
Your friends. Your friends.
You're faggots.
It's home.
Dana Bash, CNN, at the real Alpha House near Capitol Hill.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have the link. I'm going to put it in there again for y'all. You got 3 minutes. We will see you on the other side. What's up, KB? You jumped in at the wrong time, ma'am. Let's go.
You're never gonna make it, you're not good enough. There's a million other people with the same stuff. You really think you're different, man, you must be kidding. Think you're gonna hit it, but you just don't get it. It's impossible, it's not probable, you're irresponsible. Too many obstacles, you gotta stop it, yo. You gotta take it slow, you can't be a pro, don't waste your time no more. Who the fuck are you to tell me what to do? I don't give a damn if you say you disapprove. I'm gonna make my move, I'm gonna make it soon. And I'll do it cause it's what I wanna fucking do. Cause all these opinions and all these positions, they come in millions, they blocking your vision. But no, you can't listen, that shit is all fiction. Cause you hold the power as long as you're dreaming. There's no way that you make it, and maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back?